prefer a short one?
Either one. Just,
Or the long one?
I guess the long one.
Hello, we're Railroad Earth, and you're at Wolfgang's Vault. Here's the long walk home. How we dream of the perfect love and believe we are that strong. How you find it's too much weight for anyone to take. Oh, I cannot carry this illusion anymore. Oh, I will be ready when you knock upon my door. How we dream of the perfect space, a forgotten, peaceful place. How you find it's too much weight for anyone to take. Oh, I cannot carry this illusion anymore. Oh, I All right, here's a song about the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. This is the Jupiter and the 119. The Jupiter is gleaming, shining in the sun. Everybody ready for the great cross-country run. Tell me, have you heard the story going down the wire? Going down the line. She's ready to be rolling, breathing smoke and steam. She edges on the iron and the crowd begins to scream. Have you heard the story of the Jupiter and the 119? They fire off the cannons, she blows a whistle blast, goes flying around the corner, moving strong and moving fast. Tell me, have you heard the story going down the wire? Going down the line. All from California, from the Sacramento yard, 119 is rolling, pushing strong and pushing hard. Through the snowy mountains, she took 'em right in stride. Crested the Sierra, went down the other side. Tell me, have you heard the story going down the wire? Going down the line. Tell me, have you heard the story of the Jupiter and the 119? Across the grass horizon, across the giant plain, across 1,000 miles of iron roars the mighty UP train. Tops the Sherman summit, a mighty feat of man, sails the Echo Canyon and across the Death Creek span. Tell me, have you heard the story going down the wire? Going down the line. And through the barren desert, the 119 is run. Through the Devil's Gorge, beneath the blazing fiery sun. Through tunnels and through canyons, cleared by shovel and by pick. 10,000 men who blasted, clawed and hauled with muscles thick. Tell me, have you heard the story of the Jupiter and the 119? The Jupiter is on the run, headed for the setting sun. When she rests, east and west, top time. promontory. From the east and west they're here, and all across the country there is a mighty cheer. The mighty trains are polished on the track, they proudly rest. Crowds all gather round them, dressed up in their Sunday best. The big brass band is playing, it's a bright, uncloudy day. Speakers oratory, and the bosses have their say. The reverend says a prayer, it's mercifully short. The drunken railmen laugh, and the iron horses snort. The engine's easing closer, they moving down the line. Champagne bottles pop, fill your glass, it's toasting time. The engine's ease for meeting, they're nose to nose alike. There is a silver hammer, they nail the golden spike. Tell me, have you heard the story going down the wire? Going down the line. Tell me, have you heard the story of the Jupiter and the 119? Tell me, have you heard the story of the Jupiter and the 119? We're going to play Potter's Field for you. In case you're wondering, Potter's Field is the place where they send to burial those with no family to claim them. I'm just a traveler passing through. I won't haunt or bother you, though you might lend an ear to my story. You can call me Old Jack, you might have seen me caped in black as I wander the streets of the village. In her long flowing hair, you might find my story there, though it was not my own hand that killed her. I went down a moonlit trail, rode out on a rail, and began a long life of journeys. In the ripple that rolls on the water, in a high rolling wave out at sea, in the shadow that flies on the valley, in a riddle is where you'll find me. In a foul tub of a boat, my passage I did float. I joined the ranks right on the docks of the city. In the fire of the devil's den, with the gray-coated men. I lost all my hope in my two brothers. So I wandered in the West, I settled down, I did my best, but my heart was unsteady and restless. I took a room on Houston Street where the pawned poets would meet. We poured out the wine of the ages. In the ripple that rolls on the water, in the hard-hearted moon we both see, in the shadow that falls in the alley, in a riddle is where I will be. Little finger, ten little toes, sleep, little baby. Will you ever know? Will you ever know? Years ago my lid was sealed. They threw me down in the potter's field with the souls of the lost and forgotten. Though my name is dead and gone, I remain and I travel on. I roam with an old band of brothers, and if you strum the ancient string, you might call my spirit in. Or if you blow on the hole of the whistle, by an old Highland air, you might find my story there. Or if you're the wren pulls her nest from the thistle, in the ripple that rolls on the water, in a high rolling wave out at sea, in the shadow that flies on the valley, in a riddle is where I will be. Oh, high above Colin Moore stands the old man of store, in the mist and the stone and the mountain. If you scramble up that screen, won't you stay a while for me? Watch the white rolling waves wash the island.
Everyone, welcome. I'm sitting here with Railroad Earth, who just wrapped up a pretty fantastic acoustic set for us, and they're kind of stick around and answer some questions. So if you guys could maybe go around, introduce yourselves, and go at it.
Hello, my name is Andrew Altman, and I play the bass.
Todd Schaefer.
Gary Harmon.
John Skian.
Andy Gessling. Tim Carbone.
Great. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. I guess for those people that are just now kind of discovering Railroad Earth, if you could maybe give us a little backstory about how you guys got together and how you guys got your start.
Well, it all happened at my house. I don't think anybody's going to come to a party at my house anymore because I had a bunch of informal jams at my house. And next thing you know, we had bought a van and we're on the road 150 days a year. They're all kind of still mad at me about that.
You guys, I read you guys played the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. After that was like your 10th gig or something like that. How did you just?
That was our 10th gig. And it's hard to believe, but it was.
And it went really well.
It was actually the first gig we got, but we decided to play some gigs before we got there, so we thought that would be a good idea.
Practice.
For a while, we were playing now and again at a monthly jam session out at the Elks Lodge, hosted by the Pocono Bluegrass Society in Stroudsburg, and we were rehearsing a bit early on backstage. And I remember this is before we had even found out that the Telluride thing was happening, or we had any thought that it was going to happen. We were working on some vocals, I think, for Going to the Fields, and some guy who was hanging out, rather wryly, said, "What are you guys practicing for Telluride or something?" And we kind of laughed it off, and next thing we knew, yes, we were.
And then you're playing 100.
Yeah, then really practicing for Telluride.
Well, I understand that on the last record, Amen Corner, you guys recorded it in a farmhouse in rural New Jersey. Did you guys take the same approach for the new record, the self-titled record?
No, we didn't. We have a new song inspired in a way by that spot. It's called The Lonecroft Farewell, and the place where we recorded that album is called The Lonecroft. And it's interesting because it's I lived there for many years, so it's a place very dear to me. But circumstances changed, and I had to move out of there. No, we recorded the new album in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which was kind of interesting. It's a wonderful scene going on out there. The producer Angelo has a studio in Williamsburg, and so we recorded in his space out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I understand that improvisation is kind of a big role for you guys when you're doing your live shows. Is that also how you kind of craft new songs, or how do things come together for you guys?
Various ways. Some of them come about that way, more than others. There's a song on the new album, Spring-Heeled Jack, which is largely improvisational. John wrote the tune and allowed a lot of room in the performance and the recording for improvisation. Yeah.
I also noticed I was kind of strolling through your SoundCloud page, and I noticed there was like a guitar solo contest for Blackout Speaks. How did that come about? What's the story behind that?
I think it was an idea hatched by somebody at the new record label, and we did receive some interesting submissions. One from, I believe, as far as Japan, in fact.
Cool. And did you guys get to pick the winner? And
we were not necessarily involved in
Okay.
the judging round, but I was lucky enough to actually be able to just lend an ear casually, and out of curiosity. And it's really, really interesting stuff, It's cool to hear people do their take on things like that.
Nice. Yeah, so if anybody's interested, you can check out their SoundCloud page and look at all the different solos that people sent in. It's pretty cool. And then I don't know if you guys have had a chance to walk through the halls, but I'm sure you may have noticed there's a lot of Grateful Dead stuff that played a big role in the world of Bill Graham. And I understand some years ago you got a chance to play with Phil Lesh, and I'm wondering what that was like and how that came about. And he actually played some of your tunes, right? And how that felt to kind of play with him and the story behind that whole scene.
Well, at first, John and I were invited to come out and join Phil and Friends at the Warfield in December of, 2005?
2004.
2004, yeah. So we did 3 shows with them, John and I did, and then during the Mardi Gras in 2005, he invited the whole band to come out, and we kind of traded songs, like for, what's that, his second set that we did? I can't remember, was it?
I think in the second set, he brought us out pretty much en masse with his band, which is, a large band as well, and he had selected 2 songs from the album we had out at that time called The Good Life. I believe we did Storms and another song called The Goat, but pretty much sandwiched in with Uncle John's band, Cumberland Blues, and I forget what else we did with him, but he had our tunes right in his set list, and we.
Cool. So was that something that was that a surprise to you guys, or were you prepared to have him play with your stuff?
I think over the years, those people, we have folks who come around from the dead community and believe in certain magic that attends that band and their amazing following, and we've been kind of I think touched by that. The fans tend to like our music, and
you're
that sort of
following
energy
actually-
and that spirit somehow
Yeah.
happens. I don't know.
And you're following actually-
So was I personally surprised? With that community, I'm not really surprised anymore. Synchronicity
actually
seems to
have-
happen.
Your following actually has, there's the Deadheads, and then you guys actually have nicknames or fan-induced nicknames. The Hobos, is that?
They actually named themselves.
Name themselves?
Yeah.
So you guys, do you know the story behind how that became your fault, like how they came to that name?
I think John.
Well, I guess the train reference tends to follow us wherever we go. The band being called Railroad Earth, and the Hobos, I guess,
Up and from
seemed
train.
like a natural fit. Although most of them seem to have jobs and they pay, and, places, residence like other people. So.
Cool.
We actually put on our album, The Good Life, the album cover. It seems like hieroglyphics. It's actual hobo symbols from back in the day, and they had interesting symbols to let each other know where the safe haven was, for example.
Where you could get a good meal, and they would etch them in, on posts right by the rail station, or even on the fence in front of a house. There's one symbol means you can get a good meal here.
And some symbols would say "man with gun."
Yeah.
Beware.
Avoid. Yeah.
Watch out.
Cool. Well, I know you guys are pressed for time, so I'll wrap things up. But Railroad Earth, the self-titled record, is out now, and you guys are on tour through February and early March. Is that right? Cool. So go check them out. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Amazing set, and thanks for sticking around for answering our questions.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Take care.